Hi everyone, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to second half of day one of Agile Network India. So here we are. So our fourth chapter of the day is by Hyderabad chapter by Arjun Majmundar. He works as an Agile coach at F5 Networks, and his topic is he'll be sharing his experiences on Ashtadik 8 avoidable mistakes in the organizational transformation. Just before we start off the session, let me quickly thank our founding sponsor, Innovation Roots. It is a leading consulting and training service providers helping organizations to achieve business agility and beyond. It is one of the leaders and pioneers of niche publishing services and well known for content collaboration with global thought leaders, authors, and creators. You may refer to www.innovationroots.com for more information. I would also want to thank our sponsor, Gile. Gile is a product offering from Tata Consultancy Services Limited. It is a purely cloud-based enterprise agile planning tool along with DevOps capabilities. Enterprises can use Gile to adopt agile practices or scale across multiple Scrum and Kanban teams using enterprise scaling frameworks such as SAFe, Disciplined Agile, LESS, and more. You can try out Gile for free up to 20 users for 30 days by signing up at gile.io or reach out to us for more inquiries or exclusive product demos. Check out the Gile page on Agile Network India website for more information, and also the link is posted on the chat box. Quick do's and don'ts for all our participants. I would request everyone to join the event 5 minutes before the start time. Use high quality speakers or headphones for better sound quality. And I would request you all to keep your microphones muted and videos disabled as this may cause disturbance and bandwidth issues. Questions will be taken via chat box. I would request you to enter your questions in the chat box at any point of time during the session. And at the end of the session, the facilitator or moderator will help and read out few questions to the speaker as per the time availability. I would kindly request you all to fill in the feedback form after the event, which will help us to understand more about the event management. We appreciate your cooperation. And with no further delay, let me call upon Arjun over the video cam and microphone. Over to you, Arjun.
Thank you, Navina. Thank you all. Welcome to the session. So today I just want to talk about 8 avoidable mistakes or pitfalls that we can learn from a lot of experiences that we had from a lot of people. So this 8 pitfalls or mistakes which are avoidable are the experience from me and few of the people whom I worked with. So these are not final, or I'm not saying that these are the only 8, but these are some of the experiences that I think can be learned and can be avoided when we are moving towards agile transformation. So without further delay, let me get started. So the first mistake that we can talk about, or what we can look into, is namesake agile. So doing agile for the for the sake of doing it. So it is more like you don't have a focus. So what happens is, like, most of the time it is taken as a reason for delivering things faster. And to deliver things faster, they don't want to change the whole organization structure, sorry, organizational perspective and culture and everything. They just want to implement it at delivery lines or the teams that are implementing agile. Because of which, what happens is, like, you don't get the full advantage of agile. Okay, so it is just like you are focusing on the product development cycle. So product development teams, which are kind of the end points. Basically, those are the end points, because you are not going to have feedback from the customer. We are not going to have a lot of other things, inspect and adopt things that need to be happening when we are talking about agile. So for that, we are doing agile for the name of agile, just because someone else is doing it. It is kind of a buzzword in the industry. We are trying to implement agile. So how we can overcome this problem? So we can overcome this problem by making sure that we are having agile team that implies we are kind of being responsible, so responsive to change. We are learning while executive. We are switching to failing fast and fixing fast mode. And it actually may not be good, or it may not be able to give you faster results or give product delivery at a much faster pace. But overall, if you look at the organizational long-term goal, this thing, having a culture of failing fast and fixing fast, can help the organization in achieving great results. So namesake agile is one of the basic thing. And also one more thing is like, in this the same thing, names of agile, one more thing that I had encountered is like the definition of agile is different at different levels. Like a development team means, for them agile means like running sprints. For product development it means a different definition. For management it is other way to make people work harder for you. So every department or every division and every person has their own meaning of agile. So make sure that you have a common understanding of what agile is for everyone in the organization. That is where you can succeed with agile. Okay, this is the first mistake that we have. So the next mistake that we can look into is missing buy-in. So a lot of times, if you talk about buy-in, it is all about making sure that people are in for it. So for to uh, again, the problem is people leadership doesn't understand the value of agile. For it is for the leadership that teams can run faster and deliver products faster. Okay, so I can quote an example here. So there is a photo gifting product from or site from HP, which was it was so popular and was earning a lot of revenue. It was started in 1996, and what happened is like in 2013 they wanted to update the website. So after like approximately like 13 15 years of 15 to 17 years, they wanted to upgrade the whole product experience to a new level. They want to use the latest technology. They want to build mobile apps and do and build whatever it is for today's world. They want to use the HTML5, CSS3 standards to upload images and all those things. So this website is basically to create customized and personalized gifting experience to the customers. Okay, so what happened is like leaders of the organization wanted to go agile because they want to deliver it in 6 months. So only reason they want to use agile is they want to deliver this in 6 months. Okay, so what happened is like they were not even bothered about what is the cost of this transformation, what happens or anything. They were ready to they got a consultancy in place, which is one of the topmost consultancy in US. They bought them in, and they wanted this to be the product to be delivered in 6 months. So these people created some structure, did whatever they want. They put their own experience, and not even looking at, see, the product development division was like was distributed between India, Singapore and US. But people are not bothered about the time zone things and all those things. They were like the whole solution was in line with the US culture. They didn't even bother the 280 employees that are working from India. So what happened is like it failed drastically. The version 2 that was launched was a big flop, and finally they had to sell this particular product line to a different company which is called Distinct Photo, and from there they said to Shutterfly. So all these things happened because they were unable to deliver things on time. It was delayed by 2.5 years. Now, was it of any use, this company, because they were earning good money on the older version? Uh, People were not interested in waiting for years and years, and the promise was all the people will be able to use or will be migrated from version 1 to version 2 seamlessly. But because this consultancy who came into the transformation of this product was not understanding the whole concept or reason of why they are doing what they are doing. What happened is like it lost its way, it lost its vision, and was able to deliver nothing. Finally it was sold to a different company. So to avoid this it is very important to make sure that the leadership within the leadership and management need to define a vision and goal. Make sure that they over communicate it by 10x times. So you keep communicating at every interval, wherever, whenever possible. Make sure that you make people understand why we are doing this transformation, all those things. Make it visible, stick it everywhere in the organization. Make sure that people are aware of why we are doing what we are doing. And also making sure that everyone understands the reason why we need agility is crucial for agile transformation. So if you don't know why we are why the need for agility is not there, or people don't understand it, then it's impossible to understand why we are doing this thing. And also one more thing is like, what is in it for me? If people are unable to connect to your purpose or your goal, make sure that their managers or their leaders explain the reason of what is in it for them, for each and every individual, so that they can uh, understand why we are having this transformation, what is their gain in this one, in this particular transformation. So this is the second mistake that we can avoid. Third one is about the culture of the organization. So I think it is pretty common, pretty much away. Everyone have heard of these things. So one thing is like, culture is the king of the organization, and at its core, agile transformation is a mindset. So if you don't have a culture wherein you develop this kind of agile mindset, then there is no point in doing the transformation at all. So make sure when you are kind of going to agile transformation, it is a radical organizational change, which means that you need to break down the silos, the traditional mindset of the people. Also, you are moving away from the strong command and culture, and make sure that it is all about make empowering people. You got empathy in place. You make sure that you don't wish agile to fit in the existing organizational culture, but you are going to change the culture in a way that it makes a transformation successful. A small example from Netflix. This is a report from, again, 14th State of Agile report, which says that general organizational resistance to change is the biggest challenge for adopting agile or scaling agile. So if you look at it, then the next one is not enough leadership participation. So if you look at all these things, uh, the fourth one is agile organizational culture at odds with agile values. So that is what. So if you look at the topmost things, it is more to do with the culture of the organization rather than anything else. So a small example from Netflix is an apt example here. So uh, Netflix wanted to create a culture wherein people has culture of freedom, high value performance, and responsibility by treating employees like grown ups. So basically, what happens is like, you're not going to be judged. You're not going to be given orders. You have all freedom to do whatever you want, but you need to go do it with your best judgment. So they did this. Netflix did this by assigning trust in responsible behavior and judgment of employees to create space for independence. They are not given any task. They are not forced to do anything. They are given or they are assigned trust. So they can do whatever they want to do, but it should be in line with the outcome that is expected by the organization. Okay, next one is by substituting annual reviews and performance improvement plans with frequent open conversations with team leads as an organic part of daily work. So basically, what happens is like, if it is quarterly goals, annual performance reviews, uh, we the team try to do it in a different way. So they 6 months is gone. The next 6 months, whenever the appraisal period is coming, that is when they try to prove something. They try to do something and they try to show off. So rather than that, it was more of an organizational part of daily work to talk to the leaders and have conversations which are kind of benefiting the organizational outcomes or organizational business agility. So the result was it boosted the independence and decision-making power of the employees through less organizational complexity and bureaucracy, leading to faster feedback, iterative changes, cross collaboration, and paving way to agile transformation. So one of the best or like organic transformation in agile is of Netflix, which started with culture transformation and then went to the product level transformation. So the big takeaway here is an organization culture is most critical part of agile transformation success factor. However, it is the hardest one to change as organization spends years building one. So basically, it is hard, but you need to start from it. You need to start by changing the organization culture to have the value of agile transformation. Okay, coming to the next mistake, or like fourth digbandhana, it is more about communication and collaboration barriers. So the world has changed. I mean, like, we have been for fast forwarded our world after the pandemic began. The reason is like, we have never expected people to be completely remote, or many organizations said remote is not at all possible. For example, SAFe, which is one of the scaling agile framework, said that they can, I mean, like, this remote planning will never work. They wanted everyone to be together to plan for the PI. But after this COVID-19 had started, it changed all its training material. It changed it planning templates and all those things to support for virtual things. So people, what people think would not happen in near future has been done because of this pandemic. So but there are enough challenges here. The reason is, like, if you look at Agile Manifesto, it is all about individuals interaction process and tools. But if you look at distributed team or large organization where the development team and the teams are being in multiple time zones, what happens is, like, you don't have a chance to interact with the individuals every day. So for that purpose, this becomes a huge challenge. Okay. And also one more thing is, like, your cycle is too short. So 1 week to 2 weeks is what people are preferring. So in this short time, effective collaboration and communication has become a significant problem. Not being able to solve the problem effectively is an important reason why agile transformation fails. So you are able to deliver things as an individual in week or 2 weeks of time, but when you scale it across the organization, if you have dependencies within different teams, if you have or if you want to give some inputs or take some input from other teams where you are allocated to deliver as a common goal or something, that is where the problem is coming from. So for that purpose, the communication collaboration barriers can be avoided with the help of some formal pre-scheduled time. Like, if you look at Save the Art Sync is one of the best way, or like Scrum of Scrums and PO Syncs are some of the best ways to make sure that the formal collaboration is there and you focus on your user stories or development work. Besides, they can engage with each other in small talks online to know each other better. So regular connects, like half an hour connects, a pre-scheduled one will really help in making sure that people are connected. The communication barriers and the collaboration barriers are being abolished because of with the help of all these things. Okay, some of the other things which are already known to everyone are making sure that you use video conferencing tools so that people know your behave your expressions, and they know whether you're understanding what the other person is talking or not. So you're kind of confidently involved in that conversation. They use whiteboards to make sure your design sessions and sprint planning. Use surveys to gather feedback at retrospectives so that you can spend less time in getting things done. Also making sure that you don't follow a specific framework set of practices given by a framework, but you take the best out of each framework and make them work for you, will definitely create value for your team. So rather than fixing it to confine the way of what the framework says, it is good to really experiment new things and get beyond your framework, which helps you in developing your team agility and improving your team value. Again, some of the tools according to 14th State of Agile report is more from the perspective of daily stand-up, retrospective, sprint iteration planning, iteration review, and short iterations are some of the techniques that can help us in getting communication and collaboration barriers away. So these are some of the tools that we can look into. But yeah, most probably it is all about making sure that we are committed as a team. We are committed for making sure for helping others is the main key. Okay, the fifth Digbandhana, which is a mistake, is about copying the roadmap from other organizations or other places. So ignoring to internalize the transformation roadmap rather than just taking some. You take a cookbook and kind of implement it in your organization. So what happens is, like, most of the time people are or someone, a consultant or an agile coach is hired by enterprise coach is hired from outside the organization. They define the agile transformation roadmap by bringing a specific already used set of practices that according to them are best for you, but it's very hard that it can work for you because every organization has its own priorities, its own challenges, its own reasons for adopting agile. So if you just use the cargo cult approach towards agile transformation, it definitely leads to failure. So to avoid that, agile, simply put, is about thinking, running small experiments, and improving quickly and easily. An agile organization an organization always keeps exercising and building muscle of learning. So it is always about making sure that you take the best practice for sure, but you try to see whether this fits your organization or not. You run an experiment with lowest possible expense, either time or money, and try to see what is the learning from it, and then go ahead. Okay. Yeah, so that is how you can internalize your, I mean, make sure that you are internalizing your transformation roadmap by doing small experiments. Locate for it for an iteration to a quarter, to half yearly, to an yearly approach. So your transformation roadmap should be internalized by consulting with the people who are involved, and make sure that they understand what they are doing has a purpose and a reason for it. Yeah. So the next one is about limiting the agile development practice, agile transformation, or agile mindset to few projects or few sections only, which is more from R&D or pivoting pilot projects. Um, this is one of the reason why agile transformation fails, because people don't understand the whole value of it. And these pilot projects are something which are not having good good understanding or good picture on from the executive perspective, because they take the worst product line and try to see if agile can help with them. It's already a failing project, and they'll try to see if it is working, or if agile is able to help that or not. And because of this, what happens is like they'll not be able to deliver it. So classic example is like a bank wanted to transform their one of their product line from waterfallish thing to agile ways of working. So what happened is like when they started thinking about agile, uh, they they had built an application which is about credit card, so converting a credit card uh, spend to an EMI. So what happened is like this team it was said that they will be going on Kanban to resolve all these 11,000 defects. They had 11,000 defects, and the release was in next 1.5 month. So what happened is like these people were afraid to solve all these things, and because this was kind of for markets that are lower in nature, like they don't have huge business in this market like China and Japan, where this bank credit cards were used very less, the bank that wanted to. So what happened is like the executives never had a good vision or good sight on them, so they were okay to fail this thing, to get this thing failed. So ultimately what happened is it was deemed to be failed, and after a month they still had 8,000 defects and they were unable to deliver that. So that was a strong failure, but the same bank had its US presence, and in US they had a very good presence of credit card division. They did the same experiment with US based teams, and the same conversion thing. What they did is that they revamped everything. They started from the scratch with using agile framework, agile methodology. Even safe was not there at that point of time, but they used the same architecture as safe, and were able to deliver extremely well results. They were able to deliver this project in 6 months, which initially were estimated to be completed in 2 years of time, because they didn't want to build something that is not useful to the market. So if they want to build everything, it would have taken 2 years or 1.5 years, but they wanted to build only the things that were so important for the customers, because of which what happened is like they were able to deliver it in 6 months of time, and it was a huge success. From that day, this bank started continuing delivering all the projects in agile. Okay. So how to avoid this one? So while it is acceptable to start with small agile transformation with small teams of the organization, it is crucial not to stop there and wait for the outcome. So it is always good to start with something where the stakes are high, and make sure that you expand it across the organization. Agile teams need an approach to holistically and embed agile principles in its culture throughout the organization. Spreading agile beyond small groups is where the real advantage is. So make sure that you are expanding the agile from smaller teams to the whole organization, and making sure that your culture embeds agile principles within that. These two things can help you go beyond a small team to expand it to the whole organization. The seventh digbandhana or seventh mistake is about rushing towards transformation process. So what happens is like most of the organizations hire a consultant, and start implementing agile transformation. They they initially show the results, and they kind of force the transformation process and close it. They return back, and once the consultant or consult group of people who are coming from the consultancy leaves the organization, people return back to the old ways of working. This is a typical thing that happen most of the organizations. um, a a chemical company, which is approximately 100-year old in nature, started agile transformation for their IT division only. They because they had their manufacturing thing, they had their IT division and everything, but they want to start the IT division and then move to chemical manufacturing thing. They were using Kanban or TPS at their manufacturing system, and they want to implement agile in their basically Scrum and Safe in their development practices. So what happened is like they had an external consultant. So this person came in uh, for approximately an year. Uh, the person made sure that uh, we follow, or like uh, basically what happened is like they were not all involved. They gave some guidelines, and ultimately what happened is like this company thought that investing agile transformation is waste of money and time. Finally, they didn't want agile transformation anymore. But what we did is like in India, we did it at small groups. So the teams which were in India were doing agile, and they were able to deliver, or they were able to deploy solution or product multiple times in a day. So we were able to create continuous integration pipelines and all those things which are helping us to deliver product, or deploy a solution multiple times in a day for the customers to validate. So validate and take advantage of it. So the whole thing is like a transformation, because it was done by someone else from outside. It didn't stay with them. The people in the division where the actual transformation started are still in waterfall. Even today it is there in waterfall, but the people who are in Indian organization are doing their best with agile methodologies. Basically Scrum is what we are using. So it is doing still very good. So one thing that I would like to bring here to avoid this pitfall or this mistake is to make sure that you have a backbone to support new ways of working. So you don't terminate, or you don't leave the people after halfway of transformation, or according to you is full transformation. Again, make sure that you embed the principles of agile principles into your culture throughout the organization to make sure that you get advantage of it. Okay, and the last Digbandhana, or the eighth one, is hiring the right talent. Most of the time, what happens is like people, when we talk about agile talks about building self-organizing teams. So for this, it is very important that we hire motivated and skilled individuals. Unfortunately, human resource department sometimes fail, and they are hurry in filling out the positions. They are more I mean, not all, but there are few human resource department which just want to fill the numbers rather than looking at the requirement of the job, but they want to somehow they want to fill in the position. So for that purpose, it is uh, a wrong way of filling the talent, and it also affects organizational agile transformation. A survey done by Net Solutions, which said that 66.2% of leaders said that their team members do not have complete understanding of what agile and what value it delivers. So look at it. This was a recent survey. I think it was last year, like it was end of 2019, that this survey has been done. Agile is here for approximately 20 years now, but still a lot of people didn't know or understand why to use agile and what value it delivers. So there is no point in hiring people without understanding, or who are not motivated and skilled enough to to help the transformation. So one thing, or few tips that can avoid this particular thing, is like making sure you focus on people, not just skills. Agile teams need individuals that with right personality, mindset, and values. Find out intrinsic skills needed to be successful with agile projects, where you can find and where you can find the social. So one of the tool that I would recommend is moving motivators. So moving motivators is one of the tool that you can use to understand the intrinsic skills or intrinsic motivation of any employee. So yeah, so don't compromise on this thing. So even though the particular position is open for a little longer, make sure that you are okay to have that position open for a little longer to find the right person, rather than someone sort of like filling it immediately and making sure that you have a talent in place. Okay, these are 8 Digbandhanas. So basically, when you on the final note, agile transformations are hard to achieve. Organizations and employees, hard to achieve for organization employees. Remember, there is no conventional route for any organization to become agile. You have to find your own way of sustainable improvement and help organization move towards agile transformation. So basically, what happens is like you cannot rush. You cannot have a cookbook for implementing agile transformation. It is you every organization have to go via the pains, via learning. They can only transform their organization by learning, by doing experimentation. So there is no shortcut. Make sure that you embrace this journey and become more agile, delivering business agility. So yeah, getting acquainted with potential ways of transformation help uh, can can help you to build awareness of where to start your agile transformation project. However, many of the challenges you face will be unique with your organization. For sure, you cannot, even though these are common failures that I had experienced, this may not be the same in your organization, but definitely having a knowledge of this one can help you move through the funnel faster. Okay. Yep. Yeah, you can also look at some more things like ADKAR is a framework for managing people side of change. So yeah, so ADKAR is one thing that I would recommend you to look for when you are looking at the people side of change. And there are some more tools like moving away from velocity metrics, or like the output metrics to outcome metrics, like moving away from velocity and the what to say the performance reports, the team performance or product performance PPM reports, to the net promoter score, CSAT score, and business value delivery. These scores can actually help you in focusing on what kind of value you are delivering to the customers or the business, and those can drive the right conversation with your teammates. So I would recommend velocity is still a good measure at team level, but at an organization level, it is very good if you move away from this velocity metrics and move towards NPS or CSAT or business value delivery. Okay, so yeah, that's thank you guys. That's all from me.
Thank you so much, Arjun. That was an insightful session from your end, and I hope it helped our participants as well.